Hey everyone, I'm Sly, and I'm here with D, and today we're going to talk about Logan Paul. Now D, he's back in the gym, he's back training, you see him throwing those hooks. Who do you think his next fight should be against?
There's a lot of opponents out there for a potential fight, and I'll just name a couple list and who I predict is going to be his next opponent. So people are all coming out of the woodworks with Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, you got Anderson Silva. You got the guy from Triller, Victor Belfort. Mm-hmm. Who else? They're even talking about KSI. Yeah. There's a lot of different opponents. The opponent I think who they're not talking about in articles who I think makes sense. So a while ago, Logan Paul was on his podcast, Impulsive, and he was talking about how he needs to have someone on his level as far as clout. He fought KSI, and that was huge. I believe it was one of the biggest revenue. It was $7 a pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. So they broke records off of that. And he ended up getting a lot of fans from the United States, a lot of fans from the UK, and his name started building slowly. And also he fought freaking Floyd Mayweather. Mm-hmm. And so when he fought Floyd Mayweather, that escalated his career super high. Mm-hmm. The person I think he's gonna fight next is Antonio Brown.
Okay.
Because that's on his level, you think about it. Who else is in the spotlight besides Kanye? Mm-hmm. It's Antonio Brown. He's on ESPN. He's on the news. He's on the articles, Instagram, TikTok. Mm-hmm. That's someone who they had beef before. Now they kind of squashed it. They did Impulsive together. But that just makes sense because AB, it doesn't look like his NFL career is going to go long. He's going to want to make a transition to something else. Why not do boxing? We saw Ocho Cinco do it. Mm-hmm. We've seen, athletes. Frank Gore did it, and a bunch of athletes, even basketball players. So that's an opponent I think is realistic. It'll sell numbers. It's a guy who's an athlete with the NFL who's got a bunch of clout, and I think it'll sell big.
I like that idea. I was not thinking that at all, but I think that would do big numbers right there. Personally, I was going to say KSI 3 because that did big numbers. Both of the fights did big numbers, but I think maybe people are over it after what happened the first two fights, the controversy in the second. They may be over it, but Antonio Brown, he has nothing going for him right now, and he said that he wants it too, so he's called him out a few times.
And the reason I think that's more realistic because Oscar De La Hoya just recently announced he's not going to do boxing, which we don't know. Maybe he ran out of coke. I don't know. So we'll see if he it is in his party phase and he wants to get back in it. Victor Belfort, I don't see that being realistic because Triller's just full of crap. They were saying Jake Paul will offer you, what was it, $30 million? There's no way freaking Triller has that money. Otherwise, Jake Paul would have stayed in Triller. He would have never gone to Showtime if there was that much money involved. So I don't think that fight. And then he was using steroids. Yeah. So his whole body is completely freaking different. It's not fighting a regular athlete. You're fighting a guy who was on juice. Mm-hmm. And Anderson Silva, that's also a realistic fight. Logan Paul's talking about interest of fighting him. He's a legend in MMA. You've shown that he's a GOAT in boxing because he beat freaking Chavez, who was a champion, even though I know he's a disgrace in boxing. Mm-hmm. But that's still impressive, Mm-hmm. And I feel, but Anderson just doesn't have that same clout that Logan Paul has right now. And so I don't see it really doing really well in numbers. With KSI as well too. KSI, maybe we could see that. He said that he wants to return to the ring at the end of the year. They could sell it off the rematch. Mm-hmm. Logan won he lost by the 2 points by hitting him on the ground. Mm-hmm. They could play that card, but we'll see what happens. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be AB.
That's a really good idea right there. I like that idea, man. There's a lot of those YouTube versus TikTokers that happened last year. There's a few guys like McBride, right?
McBroom.
Awesome McBroom. Yeah, that right there. Because I've seen McBroom. He looks pretty solid, man. He has a pretty big following, and he actually looked really good. His fight freaking knocked that fool out.
Oh, Bryce Hall. Yeah.
Bryce Hall. Yeah. So I mean, that right there, I think would be big numbers. They both talk trash, and I mean, I think that could be another potential big fight. But yeah, that's my pick probably, and then yours, AB. And honestly, that would be cool to watch, man. I'll be pretty excited to watch either of those fights, man. I mean, like I said, we said before, boxing, it's not giving us the fights, so sometimes we just got to turn to other stuff, man. Mm-hmm. You know?
But that's our prediction. I feel like it's going to be AB. And especially, it could be a potential McBroom. If McBroom fights Nissan Gibb. Nissan Gibb was Jake Paul's first opponent.
Yeah.
And he's trying to fight against KSI. But who knows? Maybe they won't fight against KSI. That could be a potential Logan Paul opponent, but we'll see what happens. It's still early. He just started training. He's been drinking and partying the last freaking years. So he's gonna take some time to get back into shape. And as he starts getting into shape, he's gonna be looking for opponents. So we'll see. We'll be on top of it.
And he's gonna make sure that he's not gonna sign with Floyd again after what happened.
Floyd still owes him money, man.
Floyd
so there ain't no rematch.
Yeah. So don't go with Floyd if you want to get a payday, man, because that ain't gonna happen. All right, guys. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know who do you think he should be fighting his next fight. A lot of great options out there, guys. But will you watch it? And let's go, baby. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. Peace.